The teaching time, I'm going to get rid of this for just a second. The teaching time for the call tonight, we are on, it's the same law, recallability, but this is becoming unforgettable. So I'm super excited for Dondi to share what he has learned about the friendship formula. So Dondi, take it away.
Let's do this. All right, let's go to the next slide. So what I want you guys to realize is that this is all again from the book, The Game of Networking by Rob Speery, law number 3, the law of recallability, meaning in the first laws were integrity and profitability. And the thing about recallability is that you can employ those things, but if somebody doesn't remember you, or you're not unique, or you're not standing out, you're not being remembered. And even beyond being remembered, be unforgettable. Kind of think of it this way. And we're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about do's and don'ts, things on social media. Think about the world population. There's almost 8 billion people on planet Earth. But what do they use? And I'm going to give you a hint. If you were ever a fan of the CSI TV series, how do they find out who commits a crime when they leave some kind of DNA behind? There's the key. Your DNA and your fingerprints is what separates you from all other 8 billion people.
And it's called evidence.
Evidence.
And that they gather.
Yeah.
They gather.
So
evidence.
when they analyze the evidence and they're trying to find the culprit who was responsible for the crime, they look for fingerprints and they look for DNA. Why? Because that's how they narrow it down from 8 billion potentially, possible perpetrators, say that 3 times fast, down to 1. And I want you to think of this challenge as this. What makes you unique among all the other people on planet Earth other than your DNA and your fingerprints? Maybe your likes and your dislikes, the things that you're quirky about, the things that just make up you. And your vulnerability is a superpower. Being authentic and transparent is a superpower. And identifying and embracing who you are is a superpower. And that is one of the great ways to begin this process of being unforgettable, which is, again, is a continuation of the law of recallability. So find ways to stay in touch with people. So anytime you come in contact with someone, find a way to keep in contact with them. Get their connection information. Marcy has a great thing that she taught me. Use QR codes. Your Facebook profile has a QR code. Your Instagram has a QR code. Your Snapchat has a QR code. Your LinkedIn has a QR code. Get those unique QR codes and make it part of, show them how you do it. So if you don't mind, and make it part of a photograph or a picture, and then make that picture on your wallpaper. So when you meet someone, all you have to do is say, hey, open up your camera and point it at this QR code, and they'll instantly connect with you. Is that your Facebook?
That's my Facebook one. And so people will connect with you on social media a heck of a lot faster than they will give you their phone number. So This is a really great way. Plus, you can learn more about them through their social than having their phone number.
And it's an aha moment for them. Most people do not use this way of connecting. So when they can see how easy it is, pull out their phone, turn on their camera, and show their camera on Marcy's phone, and boom, her Facebook profile pops up. If this person is an entrepreneur, if this person has their own business, whether it's a network marketing business or otherwise, they can utilize that type of technology. It's a great way to keep in contact with people, and you can instantly connect. Second is send out thank you cards or texts or make phone calls. Anything that you are feeling grateful for, let people know that you're feeling grateful for, and do it on whatever frequency is comfortable for you. There's, in Rob Speery's book, he talks about doing it every couple weeks or so, or every couple months or so, depending upon who the person is and how he knows them. Do you, but send out thank you cards, because it's one of, and I'm a movie person. There was a movie called Finding Forrester with Sean Connery, and he talks about, in this, he's mentoring this kid, and he said, the key to a woman's heart is an unexpected gift at an unexpected time. I think that's the key to anyone's heart. When someone gets an unexpected text from you at an unexpected time, letting them know you're thinking about them, you just made great strides in being unforgettable to that person. Keep a gratitude journal. Anytime somebody or some person is responsive, what's the difference between some person and somebody? There is no difference. That was redundant. So anytime some person is responsible for making you feel great, write it down.
Someone is.
What?
Every time someone is.
Every time someone is. So write it down in a gratitude journal and keep tabs of these things. And then make a mental note to now challenge yourself to reach out to these people on some level of a consistent basis. So if you start compiling names and gathering names in your gratitude journal and you've got 10 names, guess what? You've got now one person to thank every day for the next 10 days. And then maybe you could, if you just add to your list, if you've got 11, you got 11, or maybe you just every 11 days, you reach out to the same 10 people or whatever it is. Just continue to add to your gratitude journal and then do a gratitude challenge where you're reaching out to people and just thanking them. It can be in the form of a text or a voice message or a short video. You can do personalized videos on your phone, and I'm going to talk about that more later, or a DM, however it is. And then just find creative ways to get connected or stay connected. And a great way is birthdays. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they'll all tell you when somebody's birthdays are. LinkedIn tells you when people have personal as well as business milestones, like their 1-year anniversary, their 10-year anniversary in their company. They just got promoted to a new job. They just got a second job, whatever it is. Capitalize on those and let them know. See, this is going to be unpredictable, but it's predictable in the sense that you're reminded every day. Utilize those reminders to reach out to the person. And here's something that I love to do. Got this tip from Marcy too. If it's the birthday or if it's the day they post their anniversary, guess what? They're going to be flooded. Probably. If they've got anybody, in the hundreds or thousands of connections, they're going to get multiple birthday wishes. They're going to get multiple congratulations on their work anniversary. What separates yours from everyone else's? It depends on how unique you make it. Here's something that will always separate you from someone else. Wait a couple days and then apologize for the belated birthday wish, or apologize for the 2 days late congratulations on your business promotion or your 5-year anniversary at your company. Because what does that do? It makes you memorable. And you're doing it on purpose. You're waiting 2 days. This is just a tip. It works fun. Would you rather be one of 100 or the only one 2 days later? The only one 2 days later. And guess, are they going to fault you for forgetting? No, you're going to be the only one they remember. Because sorry for being 2 days late. Hope you had a great birthday. Sorry I missed it. Whatever. Make it personal. Use emojis. Do an audio. This is something Marcy always does too. She does the emojis of a certain character and then sings happy birthday.
So I love this. If you guys have iPhones, when you open up a text message, when you're looking at the text messages, here is the line of like the gifts and the different options that you have. I love this option here, where it gives me the opportunity to be one of several different animals, and I can sing happy birthday. I can leave a birthday message, but it's this animal that's got its mouth moving with what I'm saying. And so when I send that message, it again makes it stand out because it's like, it's silly, but it's fun, right? And it means that I spent a few seconds. It doesn't take very long to do this, right? Less than a minute. And it is unique and it is memorable. So this is something that
and most of the time people save it.
Yes.
Because it makes their day.
And what I love about it is that you can actually copy it from your message. So if you didn't want to send it in just text, if you wanted to send it through a messenger or anything like that, you can copy it in from your iPhone and then put it into Messenger and send it there if you don't have their cell phone. So like just open up a blank message, create it, and then be able to send it anywhere.
And the cool thing about it is it mimics your facial gestures and your facial features while you're actually singing the song. And this is how Marcy does it. So when she laughs, when she squints, it mimics that. That is so cool. Makes it extra.
And
personal.
I've always wanted to be a unicorn, and there's a unicorn option.
Okay, so now the friendship formula. Again, this all comes down to staying in touch. There's 4 key variables that Rob talks about in the book. Proximity, meaning how close are you to the person, whether it's your neighbor or they live in another state or they live in another country. Well, in today's day and age with artificial technology and with Zoom, it doesn't matter. What matters is your gesture. So proximity has become really kind of a moot point, but frequency, how often do you stay in touch? How often do you send them a text? How often do you, hey, just thinking about you? How often, whatever is comfortable for you, or how often somebody's name pops into your head. If you could set a reminder on a certain cadence, it's going to be better, or you can just leave it up to your memory, but there's going to be somebody.
He's so good at this, guys. I mean, he has probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 different people that he messages every single morning just to lift their spirits, to support them, to let them know that there's somebody in their corner, that he loves them, and that he's there, cheering them on to have a great day. And he just, sets himself a reminder in the morning to do this so that he doesn't happen to miss, because consistency is so important.
Right. And this is, let me share with you kind of the second layer of blessing from what Marcy just said. One of these people, and none of them are in our business except one, and that's our neighbor directly across the street. His name is Ash. His mother, now, and I've only been back on Facebook for not even 2 weeks. His mother reached out to me and asked me to check up on him because she hadn't heard from him in a couple of days. So I'm thinking, how would my neighbor's mother even know who I am?
Because he talks
Obviously,
about you all the
he's
time.
talking about me to his mom, who lives in India, by the way. And so when I get a friend request from someone who the only friend we have in common is my direct across the street neighbor, come to find out it's his mother, please tell him to call his mother. I haven't heard from him in a while. That's pretty awesome. But I started thinking, well, the awesome thing is she would trust me to do that. But the thing that it really struck me is that he's obviously talking about me to his mother. That's pretty fantastic. So whatever it is for you, whatever frequency, just take the opportunity to stay in touch and stand out and be unforgettable. And duration, how long? How long do you leave the message? How long should your text be? How long should whatever's comfortable for you. Hey, just thinking about you, hope you're having a great day. It could be as simple as that. Or, pour your heart out, whatever it is. And then the intensity, it's quality over quantity. So just do fun things. So this is the thing when intensity, I'm going to share something with a friend of mine, Clement. We went axe throwing. So I don't know the guy real well. We've only been out a couple of times, but every time we go somewhere, it's something intense, something that is memorable, because I want him to remember me and he wants me to remember him. So we pick cool things like that. Axe throwing is pretty cool. So even though we weren't there for a lot more than like an hour and a half, the intensity and the quality of time was amazing. So just find out your own creative ways to put your fingerprint or your DNA on your personal touch of how you're building your business and how you're keeping in contact with people by becoming unforgettable. Now, social media is probably going to be the fastest way and the easiest way to reach as many people as quickly as possible. So the hashtag social media is something, if you're not involved yet, figure out a way to just slowly get involved. But let me just share this with you. Don't overwhelm yourself. Yeah. There we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and what it used to be Twitter. Now it's X. I couldn't find the new logo. But this is the key. Be present in it and do you. And I would just give you some advice in this. Don't overwhelm yourself. Pick one or two profiles or one or two of these social media platforms. Most people pick Facebook to start with. Facebook has almost 3 billion people using it. 3 billion out of 8 billion, almost like 35 to 40% of the human race uses Facebook. So is it crowded? No, but it's mostly personal. If you're trying to keep in contact with people, you're trying to set yourself apart, you're trying to be memorable and unforgettable in a business capacity, and that's your motivating factor, then maybe Facebook would be great. But how do you separate yourself from everyone else? Figure out a way. You are unique. You are the 1 in 300 billion that can make impacts that other people can't. There's other platforms that are a little bit easier to do that. Like LinkedIn is my personal favorite. There's only 900 million people. Only 900 million. But I get all the time, every single day, multiple times, I get this one piece of feedback from people on LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. Of all the people, yours is the one that I open, and I'm talking about a message. And how do I do that? Actually, I forgot it. I have this I send every single person that I connect with on LinkedIn a personal message from me to them in the form of a video. And I have a little dry erase thing that I write their name backwards so that when I'm holding it up, it shows right way and everything. And I intentionally wear a shirt that has a word on it so they can see the word on my shirt is backwards, but what they're reading is not. And they try to figure out the stuff behind me is backwards. So they're thinking he must have written my name backwards, but it's their first name, and they're more likely to open it than something that looks canned. And I get so much engagement. I'm one of 900 million, but every day, multiple times, I get, oh my gosh, I've never seen that approach before. What does it do? It instantly makes me recognizable, unforgettable, and memorable, which is exactly what you want to do. Be you. Don't be a copy of anyone else. Try to figure out a way, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn, which is business relationships, business interactions. People are used to being pitched on LinkedIn because it's a business platform. Be one of 900 million, but figure out a way to be you. So posting, interacting, and commenting and sharing on a regular basis. Kind of think of social media as a points system. And I'm going to give you a question, and it's kind of a trick question. Rate this. What is the most valuable interaction on your Facebook? Let's say you make a post, okay? What's the most valuable form of engagement? Someone who just observes and does nothing, someone who observes and likes, someone who observes, may like or not, but comments, and someone who observes and shares. Ultimately, the way the algorithm is tipped in your favor is if people share your content, it's going to trigger some major algorithm things, and it's going to be sharing out your posts with that, whether it's a post or a comment or whatever the case may be. But I will tell you that for every person that likes or comments or shares, there's probably going to be 10 to 20 people who are still watching you, but you'll never know it because they never like, they never comment, they never share. And you may be thinking, why are you doing this? Continue to do it, because I will argue the people that aren't yet liking or sharing or commenting are your most valuable asset because they're watching you.
Yes.
And how can you know? There is something called Facebook stories, and there's Instagram stories, and there's reels. You can see the people that are watching you. Marcy just had an experience the other day where she thanked someone for constantly watching her reels. And they started a chat. They got it re-engaged again, and it was find creative ways to reconnect.
She is an influencer that now just had a 10-day supply of Protandim NRF2, collagen, and True Renew. I mean, she's like a massive influencer that just received it, and she's excited to try it and take her before photos. She's going to do a live video for me every single day. That's valuable, guys. Be aware of who's interacting with you.
Yeah. And so just be posting, be interacting with the people, be commenting, and you sharing regularly. Because when you do that, when you post, when you interact with people who posted, when you comment on their posts and you share their content, assuming that it's obviously, if it meets your criteria, they will start to notice because it will tell them this person shared your comment, this person liked your comment, this person, whatever. So like, share, and comment, and you're going to get engagement, and people will reciprocate with that. And be consistent. And then, like I said, it's going to reciprocate over time. This helps you stand out. It helps you be unique. It helps you be memorable, and more importantly, unforgettable. Provide value constantly. So as long as you are engaging people, liking and sharing, you are providing value to them, and you're strictly doing it by consuming their content. Guess what happens when you start liking and commenting and sharing things a few times? The person who you're doing that with is going to start paying attention to yours. And then they're going to start liking yours. They're going to start commenting on yours. They're going to start sharing yours, because it's when people do good for you, they kind of have this obligation to want to do good, or when you do good for them, they're going to want to reciprocate and do good for you. So just be consistent and watch it happen. Personally thank and engage every new connection or friend. This is something he talked about in the book, that John and Nadia Melton, if you know who they are, they leave personalized voice messages for every person on their Facebook, on their Instagram, and on their LinkedIn who connects with them. I like to do the same thing with video. And it has the same kind of response. It makes you memorable and unforgettable. So start to do these things. But again, just be you. Don't be overwhelmed by it. Just be consistent. And here's the thing, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you this. Expect haters.
Yep.
Expect for people to criticize you. Expect for people to judge you. Expect for people to be brutal and sometimes harsh and just flat out rude. Do it anyway. And be yourself. Do not worry about the people who don't like what you do. Focus on the people who are engaging you, who are liking, who are sharing you, because it just takes one person who says something completely out of line that will instantly negate the 15 people that loved what you did. Don't focus on the people that are the haters, because it's not about you, it's about them. They either see you doing something, and I talked about this last week, they see you doing something they wish they could do, or they're just jealous of where you are. And it's easier to criticize you than for them to step up to the plate and become like you. So don't worry about the criticizement. Don't worry about the judging. Don't worry about the haters. Just do it anyway and be yourself. And here's the other thing. Do not delete their comments. Do not delete their comments, and do not unfriend them. Because if somebody sees it and then they see that you deleted it, it doesn't do anything. It's not bad for you. But if you leave it there and you thank them for their feedback, people start to look and go, wow, this person is thanking their haters. Thank them for the feed. They have a right to their opinion. Doesn't mean it's going to be shared, but be the bigger person and thank them. And even maybe go on to their Facebook page and like something they've done, because it will take away their ammunition. It's the greatest way to stop your haters is to thank them and publicly acknowledge them, and do not delete their posts or their comments, because other people that are reading it are going to think wonderfully of you, regardless of how they feel about the person who's hating on you or judging you or critiquing you. It's going to make a major, and here's the other thing. Do not, and I repeat, do not provide false praise. Only do it in a genuine manner, because people will also notice if you're just being flippant, or you're trying to get back at them by fakely commenting on or fakely thanking them. Don't do it. Be genuine and be consistent. Because when people see you engage, and because they have a right to their opinion, and maybe their opinion is helping you shore up or help you clean up what you're doing, thank them for their time and their feedback, and do not unfriend them, because they're obviously following you, and they're following you very critically. And the greatest way to turn them into allies is to thank them for their feedback, because they're not going to be used to that. They're going to expect to be unfriended. They're going to be expected to be for you to engage them. Don't do it. Forget about them anyway. It's not about them. Focus on the people that are loving what you're doing and who are supporting you, because those are the people who are going to help. You're going to help them change the world, and they're going to, in return, help you build your dream. So
yeah,
focus
well, and
on
think
them.
about it too, is they're interacting on your post. And when you get more interaction on your post, you actually get more viewers of your post. And so in all reality, and expect it to, because it means that you are doing something that is making someone uncomfortable. It's okay, because you're challenging someone else to grow, and they just might not be ready yet. But when they have a negative comment on your post, just say, hey, like Dondi said, thank you so much for your contribution. We all have the right to our own opinions, and I respect yours.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
It's just a matter of being respectful. And then when people look at it, even if they come back with negativity at you, you don't have to respond anymore. You already showed who you are. Now they're showing who they are, and people will see the difference. So don't worry about haters making negative comments on your post whatsoever.
Yeah. And it triggers the algorithm, like Marcy said, because controversial things, negative things cause more engagement. And when you can diffuse that engagement with something positive and thank them for their feedback, it's going to go a long way. And it may just, other people may see it and then comment on your comment and like your comment. And because it's just simply the way you responded that got them to go, wow, this person is unique. Again, what you're doing is setting yourself apart, but expect haters, knowing it's going to happen. It's not about you, it's about them. Love on them, thank them, and let them help build your dream. So there you go, guys. So a couple things I want to share too, that just focus on what makes you unique. You can go ahead and unshare, I guess. Stop sharing.
Okay.
No. So focus on what makes you you. Share your life. Share, and you don't worry about being too personal. And if you're more guarded, that's okay. But share we talked about, and I gave it kind of an illustration last week of the 5 sensing that I did in my practice. Do the same thing similar. So focus on your social life. Focus on your personal life. Focus on your recreation life, the things that you're interested in, the kinds of movies you like, the kind of events that you like to go to, and share those kinds of things. Make a post about it. And here's something about the hierarchy of engagement. When you make a post that is all words, it'll get people engaged. But if you make a post that is words and emojis, it's going to have a higher rate of triggering the algorithm, and it's going to have a higher rate of engagement. When you have words and a picture, it's even more, especially if it's a personal picture as opposed to a canned picture you found on Google Images somewhere. Post a picture and then describe what's in the picture. And then here's the biggest thing is live video and reels and stories. when people can see, they can hear your voice, they can see your mannerisms, they can watch you interact, it causes a lot more attention. So words is great. Words with pictures or words with emojis is better. Words with pictures is better than that. And words with live video and reels and stories is your greatest way to get as quick amount of engagement in a shorter period of time and have the farthest reach. Because when people start liking it and sharing it, it starts triggering the algorithm and they start spreading your stuff. And then be expecting friend requests on Facebook. If you're on LinkedIn, be expecting connection requests. Just find out what your unique superpowers are. Be you, expect criticism, do it anyway, be consistent, and on a regular basis, like people's posts, comment on them, share them, and watch how it reciprocates, because that's going to be the key that makes you stand out from all the other 900 million people on LinkedIn or the other 2.96 billion people on Facebook, is what makes you you. And that's why people will engage you, they'll follow you. The whole thing about social media is they need to know you to like you, and in order to trust you, or they will go from knowing you to liking you to trusting you to partnering with you. And the way you do that is live your private and public life in a public way in your own comfort level, but be contributing on a frequent basis. And now that I'm back on Facebook, you're going to start seeing that happening with me. Follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see it over there. But that's the key: being consistent, being you, and engaging people and creating and sharing value. And then it's all going to come back to you in spades. That's how we become unforgettable and memorable and recallable, which is the third law of the book, The Game of Networking by Rob Speery. So hopefully